Fashionable and sustainable, that's the principle behind the local brand Reclothing. It breathes secondhand garments and dead stock fabric new life by turning them into sustainable, one-of-a-kind fashion pieces. And this Women's Month, well, we get to speak to the woman behind Reclothing. So we'd like to welcome you to New Day, Bianca Gregorio. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for the invite as well.
I mean, we want to share a little bit of your history here regarding Reclothing. I mean, this was founded way back in 2018 in hopes of creating pieces, of course, that tells a sustainable story. Bianca, I mean, what inspired you or pushed you to open something like Reclothing instead of just like, okay, I'm just going to make my own style, and why reuse all of these dead stock fabric and secondhand?
So for me, ever since I was a kid, I've already really loved fashion. Like I had fashion sketches back when I was in grade three. So growing up, that was something that really allowed me to express myself. And so there was honestly a phase when I was in college that I was a shopaholic, and like I shopped all these fast fashion stores, not knowing about all the bad effects that it had. So when I had to do my undergraduate thesis, because I studied architecture, so it was a center for sustainable fashion. And to do that, I had to do my research, and this led me to actually watch The True Cost, which is a documentary on the really bad effects that fast fashion has. And back in 2018, like people weren't really talking about it as much as they are now. So I was so shocked that this was happening, and like not a lot of people were talking about it. And so I wanted to have my voice heard, and I decided to see if there were like any existing communities and brands out there, and that's what led me to Fashion Revolution Philippines, and that made me learn a lot about the community here. And I saw thrifting was actually like one of the most sustainable ways to shop in an affordable manner. And I've always loved things ever since I was a kid. So I thought, why not join sort of my love for fashion and thrifting to create a way for people to actually have access to sustainability in a more affordable way, because I feel like before it was really intimidating for them because there weren't a lot of brands yet, and most of them were expensive. So I wanted to create a brand that was affordable, educational about like what fast fashion was doing, and also fashionable, so that people could actually see that sustainable fashion can actually be trendy and be something that you'd actually want to wear every day. And so the hand embroidery became the special touch, because I feel like there were a lot of thrifted, curated brands already out there. So I wanted to sort of have something that would make it unique. And I've always been creative, and I've always loved art. So I thought, why not try hand embroidery? And that's when it all
It
started. And
seems it
that's
seems
just
like
how it
Bianca,
grew.
like with your embroidery, you've actually left your mark. I mean, because you said, we can go ukay-ukay, we can go thrifting, right? And then we
Yeah.
get the same item. But this one, it's like you add a little bit of your love for design in these pieces, and some of these pieces are actually fantastic pieces, and you can find vintage pieces in this ukay stores and everything. But tell me a little bit about your sourcing. Was it difficult for you to find all of these the fabrics that needed to be used, or these stores that needed to have all of these clothes be sold? Do you have what's your process like?
So it's quite different compared to normal fashion brands. So when you think about it, because with normal fashion brands, it's a linear process. So you conceptualize, and then you source the fabrics, and then you have it made. But with this, it's quite the opposite, wherein you have the fabrics first, and then that's when you decide what kind of design you make out of it. So for me, sometimes I already have like this concept of the next collection that I want. And so I'll shop for the secondhand clothes with these in mind. Let's say just like a color pattern or things like that. But sometimes, when I'm feeling like I'm up for a creative challenge, I really go in with no ideas and I sort of let the clothes speak to me and like what kind of designs I feel like would actually suit it. And from there, that's when I create the rest of the collection. So I feel like it's a creative challenge, but it's really more fun as well. And I don't think like it limits me. Rather, it's really something that I enjoy doing.
I'm sure it just opens, a whole nother avenue, a whole nother door. I mean, for you of how I can make this piece even more beautiful. And for the benefit of our viewers, we're actually flashing on the screen your website. So, go out, check them out. Once again, these are amazing pieces. I mean, a lot of people are actually talking about reclothing and, wanting to join the sustainable trend. Thank you so much, Bianca, for joining us this morning here on New Day.